Game 2 of this doubleheader between our two rival schools, the Groves Falcons and the Seaholm Maples. Seaholm will be the home team, and Hope Hughes at shortstop for Seaholm. J.C. Roy leading things off. Will pop it up to the first baseman, Reagan Johnson. 1 up, 1 down on the very first pitch of the ball game. Groves lineup relatively the same. J.C. Roy, Maddie Drapel, Lezovich, Bentley, Jillian Erickson, Aiden Lockwood, Rose Strada, Addison Gherkin, and Katie Morosky in the 9 spot. Sydney Lezovich will be pitching. Countering her in the circle for the Seaholm Maples for game number 2 will be Adele Bush, the sophomore in the circle for the Maples. And she takes one off the shin. Ball bounds over to the third baseman. So hot shot. Bush appears to be okay. So we'll get another look at it here.
Yeah, let's see where she takes the ball. Looks like, well, there's the play at first, but it appeared to go off her right shin. And
she's going to get a looking at. Coaching staff going to come out and take a look.
She's taking some steps back and forth. She looks like she's okay.
Del Bush going to be okay. Going to shake it off. Going to get a few tune-up tosses. Infield defense, Reagan Johnson down at first base. Emma Weber in a familiar spot at second. Hope Hughes, as I mentioned, at short. Lila Nursey at third. So the infield defense the same for the Maples here in game 2. Mary Gumbus in left, Gigi Hill in center, and Sophia Hankey in right. So both lineups relatively the same here in game number 2, minus the pitching changes for both teams. Sydney Lezovich, as I mentioned, will get the start in the circle for Groves. Del Bush there right now. And falls behind 1 ball, no strikes to Lezovich. We have a new home plate umpire, so we're gonna have to feel him out.
Yeah, we got to get a tendency read on him. Find out where he stands in relation to his counterpart there. You see him off to second base.
Get a more generous strike zone. That outside pitch was for a called strike. Talking to Coach Baldridge in between games, he said, yep, we were in it. A couple miscues in the field did us in. It's hard to give teams extra outs.
Well, you don't want to do that, and they did that, unfortunately. But they also came back with a gallant effort in that last inning, and this game here looks like they're trying a different tact, see if they can get some runs on the board early.
Yeah, you would think a early lead here for the Falcons might give them some of that momentum.
Well, it gives them some confidence. You know, they've already lost to them. They have a very fresh memory of defeat, so they got to turn the table somehow. A lot of this game is psychological. A lot of all sports is psychological in terms of the momentum swings and such.
Bentley lofts one to center field. Catch made by Gigi Hill. Runners tag and will move up a base. So a very productive out by Charlotte Bentley.
Right, gets 2 runners in scoring position. And a good throw down there at third, actually. What was that? Down at center field we got for Seaholm? Number 4.
Gigi Hill.
Hill's looking good with that center field toss, and she almost cut that runner down at third.
Yeah, she has a very strong arm. We saw that displayed in game number 1. They don't mess around, do they, Andy, in between games, man? They get right at it.
Now, this one, I feel like there was less downtime than we've seen in the past.
I haven't even quite filled out my lineup. Pitch misses inside to Jillian Erickson, your designated player in game number 2.
And that throw back to the pitcher was a little wild. Thankfully for Seaholm, backed up by Emma Weber, because Groves would have scored a couple free runs on that.
See if they can strike here in the early goings of this ball game. Couple runners in scoring position. Aiden Lockwood waiting on deck, hoping to get an opportunity here in the road half of the first inning. Top of the first inning, Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey. Game number 2 of this doubleheader. Del Bush delivers a strike, evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Bush has sort of a wild delivery. There's arms and legs going everywhere with the pitch coming in.
Pitch misses inside once again, so full count. Base open. Bush would love to slam the door here. And he raced Jillian Erickson. Payoff pitch coming up. Bush strides home. And there's a clean base hit down the third baseline. They're going to send the runner home. Ooh, it gets cut off by Bush. She fires down to second. And we'll get Erickson there. But it's going to be a 2 RBI single for Jillian Erickson. And the Falcons will lead it 2-0.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Bottom of the first inning, let's meet the lineup for game number 2 for the Seaholm Maples. Leading things off will be the shortstop, Hope Hughes. Batting second, the second baseman, Emma Weber. Batting third will be the left fielder, Mary Gumbus. Cleaning things up will be the designated player, Sophia Wanacek. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Lila Nursey. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Reagan Johnson. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Gigi Hill. The eighth place batter will be Sophia Hankey, the right fielder. And batting ninth, Madeline Getz, the catcher. Groves defense, Sydney Lezovich in the circle, Charlotte Bentley behind home plate. Addison Gherkin will patrol first. Kate Morosky will be at second. The shortstop will be Maddie Drapel. And Rose Strata will be down at third base. Borkowski is in right field. J.C. Roy in her familiar spot in center field. And Aiden Lockwood will be in left. So Falcons strike early. Andy take a 2-0 lead. And really, I think maybe they've carried some of that momentum over from game number 1. Hot shot right up the middle. Base hit through the box for Hope Hughes.
Well, we'll see if it does pan out that way, Brad. Enjoying a lead is not something they're used to from game number 1, but it does give them a little extra juice. Now we'll see if they can shut down the Maples here. Very important to do that.
Emma Weber, first pitch swinging. Now the runner from second's going to take off for third. Emma Weber's going to go down to second base.
Well, just before that play, I was about to say they're going to need to cut down on some of the misplays on the field because you can't give Seaholm extra chances. And that's exactly what they did on that play. Really kind of threw it around a little bit. Couldn't come up cleanly with the ground ball. The throw to first was late, and then you got a runner breaking from second to third and almost threw that ball away. But second and third now, nobody out. Seaholm a golden opportunity to tie this one up. A base hit would probably do that.
Looking for the official scorer to make a call on that Weber hitter error.
Well, sounds like an E to me.
All right, reach on error for Emma Weber. Error on the third baseman.
Would have been a tough play, but it was a makeable play. I think that's how I draw the line.
Mary Gumbus, an opportunity here for Seaholm to strike right back. Gumbus goes up the middle and into center field. Throw comes home, cut off by the catcher, takes a short hop. She couldn't field it cleanly. So 2 RBI single for Mary Gumbus.
And something we've seen dating back to game number 1 was that throw not coming into the center of the diamond and fielded cleanly from the outfield. And Gumbus ends up on second as a result. Whereas you'd like to have held her to a single, fundamentally speaking. So Seaholm still in business, nobody down, runner on second.
Lazovich comes home with the pitch. Ripped down the third baseline. Play made by Rostrada down there at third. Sophia Wanacek, the very first out of this ball game for the Maples offensively. Gumbus takes third on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. So Gumbus ends up on third when she maybe gets to second if she'd been held to the single on her hit. So, it's just those little things that end up coming back to bite you if you're not able to keep it in the lane of tightening up your defense.
Huge shot off the bat of Lila Nursey, third baseman in game number 2. A strikeout of Nursey.
Yeah, tough pitch. Lazovich just painted the inside corner for that third strike. And just absolutely placed it exactly where she wanted it to go.
Pitch just above the letters. Reagan Johnson, the first baseman at the plate, the 6-hole batter. And trying to frame up that strike. Catcher for Groves, Charlotte Bentley, couldn't get the home plate umpire to bite. That time gets the called strike.
I feel like Lazovich pitched last year, did she not, in our game?
She might have.
Maybe the last couple, in fact.
Another called strike.
She shows tremendous poise out there, I will say that. Keeps checking that wrist, Got that cheat sheet. Wish I could have had that in class. They don't allow it, though.
I'm not going to make any comment on cheating.
It's okay. I didn't go. I said I wish. I mean, we can wish the world, but no, I tried to keep it above board during my educational career.
Johnson reaches base. Gigi Hill, 7th batter to bat here in the first inning for the Maples. Tied 2-2, 2 down. Sydney Lazovich. Deep fly ball to left field, over the left field Lockwood's head. And the Maples will plate 2 more. Big clutch. 2 out, 2 RBI double for Gigi Hill.
And Gigi Hill has been a hitting star today for Seaholm, and this hit here just carries. I mean, she packs a punch with that swing, and that ball took off and went all the way to the wall out in left field, scoring the 2.
Like offense, you've certainly come to the right place.
Well, for this game, for sure.
Kind of waited till the middle frames to do our scoring in game number 1. Second game of this doubleheader has certainly started with a bang. Groves pushed across 2 in the top of the first. And the Maples come right back with 4 of their own. A little bit of a breaking ball there.
She's throwing a few. I mean, they are curling in there. You can see it. We're right behind home plate, folks. It's a tremendous vantage point with this new press box they built here at Groves and Seaholm similarly, but wow.
Pop up off the bat of Hankey, and the second baseman Roski able to camp under it and make the catch. Damage done, however, in the form of 4 runs. After 1 inning of play, the Maples lead it 4-2.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
6, 7, 8 for the Falcons in the top of the second inning. Aiden Lockwood, the left fielder, to lead things off. Called strike on the outer black. Lockwood, Strata, Gherkin. Del Bush right in the middle of that rubber and then kind of slides as she makes her delivery over towards the first base side.
And that seems like that's where most of the pitching has been originating from, is that first base side of the rubber eventually for most of the pitchers that we've seen.
That time the front foot landed a little bit more square, but she misses high and outside. Too low. Good hitters count now for Lockwood. 3 balls, 1 strike. Lockwood, that slightly open stance far back in the right-hand batter's box. And it'll be the second base on balls issued by Del Bush in the ball game. Already the 4th base runner for the Falcons.
Yeah, well, if it's going to be a score fest, Groves has to do their part this inning, and they don't let Seaholm get too far out in front.
After the shown bunt attempt, the corner infielders Reagan Johnson, the first baseman, and Lila Nursey, the third baseman, are going to take a bunch of steps in, and now that ball slashed to the second baseman. They're going to try to turn 2 the tough way.
Well, he took the bunt off. That was a little early to go small ball anyways, but Seaholm able to cut down that lead runner, which is important for them. First out of the inning.
That looks like Wanacek down at third base. So my scorecard had Wanacek as the designated player. And Nursey at third. So that's Wanacek at third. Unable to turn the double play. Do get the force at second.
Yeah, for the second play in a row, Seaholm does what they need to do to cut that lead runner down. And we'll see a take a quick look here. It slowed down. Looked like Bush got a glove on it and was able to slow it slightly, and it dribbled towards second where that force was made. So they made the fundamental plays to stay out of too much danger here in the second inning.
Katie Morosky at the plate. First time she is hit here in this doubleheader. She was flexed out of the lineup in game number 1. Takes a swing and a miss at that outside pitch. Bush climbs up on top of the rubber, comes home with the pitch, bounces it up. Nothing Maddie Getz could do. Ball skips all the way to the backstop. Moves Gherkin up to second.
Yeah, this one just sort of kind of handcuffed her a little bit. Skipped past her.
Lights officially on.
Do they have heat here? Outside? No, probably not, huh?
We do have heat up in the press box.
We do have heat in the press box. There's the lights. Nice shot. Way to go to the shot, guys.
Pros in the live truck today.
Oh, man. Who's making this one? Oh, Steve Rhoda. Of course. I had to ask.
Base on balls for Morosky. Turns the lineup over to the top. J.C. Roy popped up to the first baseman, but she has been active in these 2 games. Know how dangerous of a hitter she is. We talked about it throughout game number 1.
Yeah, she's a spark, Roy.
Couple runners on, 2 away. Adele Bush into her delivery, comes home with the pitch. Called strike, evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Gherkin the runner at second. Morosky now at first. Falcons looking for a clutch 2-out hit. Pitch misses low and inside. I already know Roy's got some active feet. She had to move him out of the way that time. Del Bush slams the ball into her glove a couple times before coming home with the pitch. Bounces it up there again. Having a hard time locating her pitches.
Yeah, when she's missed to her detriment, like in that case, we haven't been able to move runners up. It's been low. She's been throwing into the ground, and it's been tough on the pickup of those.
So the third walk issued here in the second. That gives 4 base on balls total already in the ball game for Del Bush. Via Bush's numbers coming into play this evening. 14 games, 9th start of the season, a 4-4 record, 46 runs, only 23 of which are earned. 57 hits, 37 strikeouts, just 17 walks on the season. So walks really hadn't been an issue coming into play this evening, but certainly has been a struggle to find the strike zone here in game number 2.
Yeah, if anything, she's putting that stress on her arm early, and those are pitches she will not have in that thing by the next couple innings at this pace. Oh, yes, right in between the cars. We got a Ford Explorer and a Honda Accord that just narrowly missed disaster.
Maddie Drapel in the box. Ducks on the pond. Base is full of Falcons. Drapel looks at it. Good eye. Watched it all the way in.
That's nerve to take that pitch with 2 strikes on you.
It's a much larger net here, Andy, but it doesn't cover all of the foul territory.
It does not. Absolutely.
Drapel already 1 for 1 with a run scored. Takes a look at a pitch high and away.
But when is enough fencing, I guess would be the question. Just like turn it into a zoo or something. It would cage us in completely. We don't want that. Ooh, hoo-hoo.
nowhere to go, nowhere to put Drapel. Bases loaded. Payoff pitch coming up out of the right hand of Adele Bush. Gonna give it one more. Two more. Tosses into the glove. Rests the ball on her hip. Goes to the glove. Comes home with the payoff pitch. Laced into left center field. Base hit. 2-run score. And a clutch 2-out, 2 RBI single off the bat of Maddie Drapel.
Well, it's one of those games, Brad. We said it early, and it's following through on its promise to be a much higher scoring game than game number 1. Drapel with the big clutch hit. 3-2 count. She worked it to that after going to 2 strikes and just laced a ball into left field, scoring 2 to tie this one up, and still runners on second and third.
Sydney Lezovich now at the plate. Opportunity to reclaim the lead. The go-ahead run down at third base in the form of J.C. Roy. Maddie Drapel took second base on the throw into the infield. Lezovich takes a look at a pitch high. 2 balls, no strikes. Lezovich, the 7th Falcon to bat here in the second inning. Called strike on the inner black. 2 balls, 1 strike. Still a good hitter's count here for Lezovich. Waits on it. Follows it straight back. Balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Ooh, look at how.
Coming right into your living room. Absolutely.
Oh, good pitcher's pitch there. Absolutely froze Lezovich. First strikeout of the ball game for Bush. Ends the top of the second inning. But the Falcons push across 2. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 4-4.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Seesaw back in 4th game, 4-4 now. Seaholm will bat in the bottom of the second inning. 9-1-2 gets Hughes Weber due up. Sydney Lezovich back to work in the circle for the Falcons. We'll give you her pitching stats this season. 8th start of the season, 3-3 record, 34 innings pitched coming into play this evening in a 5.56 ERA. And when you look at those ERAs, you think, well, it's kind of bloated, right? It look kind of a high ERA. But in the game of softball, it's not quite the same as baseball, right? You don't see those minuscule ERAs in the 2s and the 3s like you do in baseball. And the motion of the softball delivery, much easier on the arm than a baseball delivery. That's why you see pitchers able to go the distance in the game of softball.
Right, yes.
The human arm is not built to throw a ball overhand, Andy.
Any good orthopedic surgeon will tell you that.
Yeah. And Tommy John knows, right?
Tommy John. Just ask Tommy John, right. My favorite is how high schoolers are getting elective Tommy John surgery, I heard.
Really?
Yeah, they're reconstructing their arm ahead of getting it hurt.
Might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah, you know. I mean, let's be proactive on this thing.
We got a courtesy runner. It's going to be Aaron Sheckle, the sophomore, down there at first base for the catcher gets. There's that curveball.
Lezovich just throwing that thing. I mean, it is breaking 2 feet.
That one's kind of had some snap to it, so that might actually kind of be like almost maybe like a screwball, as that one's right through the box. Clean single into center field off the bat of Hughes. So Hughes having herself a day at the plate, already 2 for 2. Emma Weber had a terrific game number 1. She was a perfect 4 for 4 at the plate. She reached on an error, according to our official scorer back in the first. Now pops this one up. Major League pop-up to the shortstop Drapel. Camps under it, makes the catch. Little can of corn.
It is. So Lazovic throwing these curves, though, it reminded me of the conversation we had during the baseball game last week about all the names. It seems like, sweeper is the big one.
Yep.
You always heard, screwball or forkball or slider, but the one I forgot was, and it came up since, was the slurve. Remember that?
Yeah, combination slider curve.
And a curve, yeah.
Slurve.
The slurve, or the schlurve, right?
The palm ball.
The palm ball, right.
The knuckleball. Not too many knuckleballers anymore in the major leagues.
No.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Was Wakefield the last traditional? He was throwing like 58-mile-per-hour knuckleballs.
Tim Wakefield, unfortunately, just passed away.
I know. He was terrible. He wasn't very old.
Phil Negro, the old school knuckleballer. Steve Sparks, who pitched here in Detroit for a long time, was a knuckleballer.
Yeah, the Perry brothers, they kind of
swinging a miss. Big one by Gumbus comes up empty.
Kind of pioneered that pitch a little bit.
Two on, one out for the Maples. And there's that breaking ball. Absolutely freezes Gumbus this time. Second strikeout of the ball game for Lazovic. Both coming looking. Second out. I'll leave things up to the third baseman, Sophia Wanacek. Courtesy runner Erin Shekel took a bit of a spill on her way back to second base.
Yeah, she was laying on the ground for a quick second and panicked. Very panicked.
Yeah, I bet her stomach dropped.
Yeah, very grateful they didn't throw down there.
Didn't want to face the wrath of the coaching staff nor her teammates, right?
That's a nice walk back to the dugout, you know.
Yeah, what happened? I blew a tire on the way back to second base. Sorry, coach. You can't blame like a loose pebble, right? Like, I got my cleat stuck in a rut or something, right? No, that's not the case.
No, yeah. I slid on the thick pile carpeting. You can call that maybe.
I asked Coach Toth after the baseball games. I said, "What's it like sliding on these fake infield?" And he looked at me straight face and goes, "I don't know. I've never tried it." And I said, "Okay, well, I understand."
Fair enough.
I said, "Well, what do the players think, right?" And he goes, "Well, we've had a couple guys overslide bases." So he goes, "I guess it's a little bit easier than sliding on dirt." As Lila Nursey goes down via the ground out back to the pitcher. So the Seaholm Maples threaten, do not score. We head to the third inning tied at 4 apiece.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Beautiful afternoon in Beverly Hills, Michigan has turned into a beautiful night. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey, top of the third inning, game 2 of this doubleheader between our two Birmingham high schools, Groves and Seaholm. 4, 5, 6 for the Falcons. Bentley, Erickson, Lockwood due up. Home plate umpire recording a note. I think it was a defensive change. We have a new third baseman. So it looks like it's Lila Nursey back down to third base. It's number 5, Nursey, yep. Coach Sherman, man, keeping me busy. I'm crossing things off on my scorecard left and right.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And it's over the head of Nursey into shallow left. Wide turn at first base, and Bentley will head back. Single to lead things off. So the second straight inning, the leadoff hitter has reached base. Wheels just keep turning here for these offenses.
They are. This is stark contrast to game number 1, where we saw a lot of zeros up there, but this game, a 180.
Isn't that always the case, right? You get lifted, and you come back into the ball game, and the ball is immediately hit right at you.
Right to you. You're cold. Yeah, you're not, and it just, it's always the outfield for me. Running. Get in there and throw ball in. Haven't warmed up enough.
Ball slashed foul. Where did that hit, Andy?
I think it hit that guardrail, so no auto damage this time.
Jillian Erickson, the designated player. Bat cocked just behind her head. Watch that one sail all the way to the backstop. So allows Bentley to go down to second base. Now they're runner in scoring position. This game certainly has a different feel than game 1.
You noticed that, didn't you? Yeah. Well, the players warmed up, and, I think that's probably generally the case where the hitters, are a little more dialed in.
They have an advantage in game 2.
Had quite a number of at-bats already, and you got to hope to kind of rely on your pitching a little bit to bail you out of that.
This game has that sort of feel of whoever has the really big inning, putting up a crooked number, is probably going to come away victors. And I'm talking like a 3 or 4 run inning, right?
Okay, I was going to say, what do you consider a big inning? I think 4 would qualify.
Or maybe perhaps a team that bats last.
It might just be that way. We got lots and lots of base activity in this game.
Erickson works the walk, so the first 2 Falcons have reached base, and now the Maples are going to want to talk things over. Going to have a confab in the circle. The entire infield defense comes in to talk things over with Adele Bush and her battery mate, Maddie Getz.
That's a lot of folks out
We
there.
have a pitching change. So while the relief pitcher comes in, gets her tune-up tosses in. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
It'll be Lila Nursey in relief in the circle, making her 12th appearance, 1-0, 16 runs, 12 of which are earned, 24 hits, 22 strikeouts, just 3 walks on the season, Andy. So Nursey takes over for Bush. Wanacek goes back to third base.
Yeah, Wanacek's played a little there and not there and there and not there, and suddenly she's tested with the bunt, having to charge.
Lockwood tried to drop it down. Bentley led things off with a single. Jillian Erickson worked a walk. Check swing, strikeout of Lockwood. So Nursey comes in and gets the K. Big punch out, first out of the inning. We'll get another look at it.
Yeah, it was that half cut that didn't help her, even if she didn't go across.
So Nursey comes in and it just starts pumping strikes, and the velocity clearly there. So a little bit of a change of pace from what Adele Bush was doing. So hitters now going to have to adjust.
Yeah, completely different look from that mound.
Strata squares around a bunt, big secondary lead.
She brings her delivery a little bit more from the third base side, which will switch up some of these hitters, having been used to that completely different look earlier in this game. One in which they were successful against, I might add.
Nursey takes a long look in. The Going inside, 2 balls, 1 strike the count on Strada. Jillian Erickson, the runner at first. Charlotte Bentley in scoring position at second. Strada laid on the fastball. So this is going to take some big time adjusting. Mercy looks into her road dugout, comes home with the pitch. Strada fouls it away. Good cut there. Corner infielders guarding the lines. Reagan Johnson down at first. Right idea.
Made a bid to score 1 and maybe 2 on that. Just foul, however. You talk about bringing some velocity, though. How about this? The fastest softball pitch ever measured, 122 miles an hour.
Come on.
That's what they say.
Strada goes down, swinging back-to-back strikeouts by Nursey.
Now batting number 12, Ed Gherkin.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what they claim, 122. Seems awfully fast.
Well, I guess it kind of goes back to that thought that the delivery of a softball is a lot more efficient. So 2 down, leaves things up to Addison Gherkin. Gherkin has a terrific eye, grounded out the shortstop Hope Hughes back in the second, 0 for 1 in this ball game. Reached base safely 3 times in game number 1. Goes after it. Grounded back to Nursey, who goes quickly over to Johnson to retire Gherkin. Groves puts 2 on, but fail to score. We head to the bottom of the third, tied at 4.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Sydney Lezovich back to work. An off-speed breaking ball. Reagan Johnson at the plate, walked and scored in the first. And she delivers a shot into the gap up against the G and Groves in the left center gap. That is a blast off the bat of Johnson. Stand up, lead off double.
Well, Seaholm starting off their half of the inning, keeping the hit parade intact, and this is a bomb, an absolute shot to left center field that just kept going and going. And if she got points for hitting the G, she hit it square in the middle, so for a leadoff double.
Johnson's 3rd double of the season. Not quite sure they're going to lift Johnson. We're going to have a runner now. It's going to be Shekel again. What could this discussion be about?
Uh-oh. We're getting Brian involved. Going next level now. No?
No.
We need everybody to be mic'd up.
Reagan Johnson's the first baseman, so I don't know, is that a pinch? I guess it's a pinch runner rather than a courtesy runner, and more than likely I assume Reagan Johnson will re-enter at some point. I'm not going to make any adjustments to my scorecard until I absolutely have to.
I was saying, how can you? You don't have any room left.
Gigi Hill misses. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. Windows are beginning to close here in the press box, Andy Aubrey.
Yes, I see that. It's probably wise. Oh, another one. Boy, that Honda has really dodged a couple of serious foul balls. Whoo. Right in between. Those are both enough to take light bulb headlights out, I think, if they hit square.
That's a really nice block by Bentley. Prevented Shekel, the courtesy runner, from going down to third. Seaholm bench starting to make some noise. They've come alive. Again, they might have never gone away, right? They've just kind of always been making noise. It's going to be a tough play. Very tough play. And made this time by the second baseman, Katie Morosky. A bit of a battle. Those have been tough plays in both of these games.
Yeah, glad for her. She made a nice catch there. She had a couple glance off her mitt in game number 1, and more than one of those may or may not have led to a run eventually, but that was a good play.
Courtesy runner Shekel was able to tag up and advance to third. This is Samantha Allen now at the plate. This is her first plate appearance of this ball game, as she has come in for Sophia Hankey. Hankey was due up, so this is Allen in for Hankey. Crouch stance, slightly open. Up and away. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count on Allen. Maples looking to reclaim the lead. Had a 4-2 lead after 1. Saw the Falcons come back and tie it. Now runners on the corners after the base on balls to Allen. Brings up the catcher, Getz.
And with a 4-4 game, it does make me think, about extra innings, of course. It's never too early. We know how much the production staff loves working extra inning games. Big favorite. But the longest softball game ever played was 33 innings. It lasted 8 hours and 25 minutes. So, see, it could never get that bad. Never.
Well, get comfortable.
That's right. It's never too early to look ahead, right? It's only the third inning, but it's 4-4.
Hear that, production crew? 33 innings. Right. Game ends at 3 a.m.
Don't you guys go anywhere.
Never mind tomorrow's tests and quizzes and tonight's homework. We got softball to be played. And they're going to take the easy out at first base to productive out, as Getz will get credited with an RBI. Put out goes 4-3. Reagan Johnson's courtesy runner Shekel scores. 5-4 advantage now for the Maples. Getz becomes the third Seaholm batter to record an RBI. Gigi Hill has 2. Mary Gumbus has 2. And now Getz with 1. Another scoop there by Bentley, kind of on the short hop. Hope Hughes waits it out. Across the diamond to record the out. Drapel, the shortstop, gets the assist. 3 innings in the books. The Maples in front, 5-4.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Falcons find themselves trailing once again. Seaholm in front, 5-4. Katie Morosky squares around and bunts. Foul ball, makes contact with her. It'll be 9-1-2. Car alarms going off. I hope that wasn't because car was made contact with the softball.
I don't know. It's probably mine. Leaning on my keys or something. I don't know.
Infield in. Outfield pretty shallow as well. Good healthy cut by Morosky. Top of the 4th inning, so glad you decided to tune us in. Morosky goes down looking.
Well, Googling around for some softball fun today, came across something that reminded me of a game I actually saw of the Detroit Caesars. Do you remember them?
No, but I assume that was in regards to Little Caesars, Mike Ilitch.
Mike Ilitch's first owned ball club, right? And it was professional softball. There's actually a Hall of Fame, by the way. And they had, in his true form, signed some stars of the game that were Hall of Famers, but it was sort of a marketing ploy thing for him to tie the pizza business into it.
J.C. Roy chops one to the shortstop, Hughes. That ball just ate her up. Nothing Hughes could do.
Yeah, the short hop, it was the problem there.
Call it an infield single for Roy. I'm being generous.
That's fine. I like it. But so this team, the Caesars, played. They won the championship too in '77 and '78, and they signed some ex-Tigers. They had Jim Northrup on the team, Norm Cash, Jim Price, Mickey Stanley, all of '68 World Series champs.
Roy takes off for second. Her patented head first slide.
Oh, she's holding her. She might have jammed her wrist, her hand, but she's says she's okay. Let's see if we can see what happens to her. She goes in head first, and I think her left hand kind of got caught up under her as she went in for her slide.
We have another conference in the circle. Jim Northrup on the Silver Fox.
Yep, Northrup played for them, and
he hit 2 grand slams in one game.
they were. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think I remember that.
Consecutive at-bats back in 1968. I think he hit like 4 or 5 grand slams that season.
He was a heck of a player. He really did. It was, and he did some Tiger games too,
As an
and
announcer,
as
yep.
color commentator when Ernie Harwell was doing TV for a brief period of time. Remember Northrup worked with him, and he was funny. He was pretty good.
So Drapel 2 for 2, couple singles and a run scored. And another single.
They're going to send her.
They're going to get aggressive, and why not?
Wow.
3rd RBI of the game from Addie Drapel.
J.C. Roy didn't stop. She just kept going and going. And we got a tie game just like that.
Boy, Maddie Drapel has just delivered. You might remember her father, Dan Drapel, was the head baseball coach at Seaholm for a while.
I remember him, yeah.
There's an RBI single off the bat of Sydney Lezovich, so she's helping her cause out in a big way.
Now batting, number 10, Charlotte Bentley.
So 3 straight hits after Nursey records the first out of the inning via the strikeout. And Groves just continues to put up offense. The 3rd time in this ball game they've scored 2 runs in an inning and reclaimed the lead 6-5.
It's a seesaw event.
Yeah, just back and forth. Charlotte Bentley 1 for 2. And lofts one to right field, rather. And the right fielder Samantha Allen. So Allen remains in the ball game for Hankey.
And she was fortunate to make that catch. She's got some bugs sweeping away from her, but just after she made that catch, the sun came out, and it would have been right in her eyes. That's at that height this time of night. And instead, she was the beneficiary of some overcast moments that she was able to line that catch up with. Made a good catch.
Jillian Erickson trying to take out her head coach down that third baseline. She's going to make her run tomorrow at practice.
I was going to say, it doesn't do her any good.
Normally you'd say making Sydney Lesovich get dirty down there in the first base line, but I don't think that's the case with that head first slide. They fake the throw down to first. Lesovich was taken off. She's going to try to swipe second base. 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning.
Well, this Groves team's never not going to be aggressive. I think it runs in the family around here.
Yeah, the Groves baseball team's
Right.
super aggressive.
They sure are.
Uh-oh.
Look out! Oh, yeah. Any a silver Ford Fusion, anybody?
I got a great idea for the next broadcast we do here. We should just have like a parking lot cam.
I love that
and
idea.
Just foul balls.
You bet.
We
Yep.
can all hold our collective breath.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe pick out a car we think it's going to hit.
Right. And get some business cards from your buddy who might be in the glass business, windshields and collision shop work.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. That's going to be a tough play, and it's executed perfectly by Hope Hughes. And she pays the price. Unassisted 6 on the putout. A little excitement. Falcons with 2 more runs. They reclaim the lead, 6-5.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Heart of the Seaholm batting lineup coming to bat. 2, 3, 4. Emma Weber, Mary Gumbis, and Sophia Wanacek. Weber hammers one straight away center field. Oh, what a grab by J.C. Roy. Robs Emma Weber of extra bases.
What a catch. She got a great jump, first off. She was none of this hesitation or moving in a step or two and then realizing you had. No. She got on her horse and started running back fast. Gave her just enough time to make the catch, and she made it, still running away from the diamond. And let's take a look at it here. It was a blast to center field, and look at her go. Turned her around a little bit, but she had the presence of mind and the balance to flip and adjust on the ball and catch it. Nice job.
Roy quickly got on her horse going back and was able to put that ball in her back pocket for the first out of the inning. Let's put a little star next to that play.
Yeah, that's an important catch, too, for just the tone of this game, the way Groves has fought so hard, and they've taken the lead again. And, Seaholm gets up with a big hit like that right out of the, first batter up, but they're able to shut him down. I think that's a big psychological boost.
Slow grounder down to third, and
It's a foul ball, wasn't it?
I sure thought so, yeah. No, yes, foul ball. Finally, we get a signal from the home plate umpire. A little bit of a delay there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think he made any indication, did he?
I'm in an alternate
see
universe then, because, I was wondering what the delay was to bring her back.
I mean, Gumbis, she tried to stay down at first, right? Why not?
Yeah, right.
Home plate umpire finally dragged her back.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
so
it was
fast.
the right way to do it. There was the right call after all.
That one's back this way. Ted Williams always talked about when a batter's really on, their foul balls will always come straight back.
Okay.
That's when you know the batter's got really good timing. Just not quite barreling up the ball. Ooh, late strikeout call by the home plate umpire. Punch out that time.
Okay.
Third strikeout of the game for Lezovich.
Let's see it. It was a little outside from that angle, but
Nice frame job by Bentley.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that grab by J.C. Roy and what she's done at the plate. She is the total package. She is a ball player.
Yeah, we just keep calling her name because she's making things happen out there, and we say that in just about every sport we call almost, where there's just in team sports at least you can just tell there's a couple players that always seem to stand out amongst the rest. Just the little things they do, maybe they're all around the ball, they're all around every play it seems like, and I think she qualifies in that category.
Just calm, cool, and collected, right? Just does all the little things right, steals bases, takes the extra base, plays a really good center field, patient at the plate.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's a smoothness factor. It's not always the biggest player, even most talented, but there's a control. It's like a next level of achievement. And I'm listening. No broken glass.
Lezovich looking to put up a 0 on the scoreboard. I've only seen a couple in this ball game, one apiece.
Uh-oh. The
Ump
took that one.
Wear that one, yeah. So this is where the catcher's supposed to go out and talk to her pitcher, make sure the umpire gets a little extra time.
Let's see.
Right?
How
Come on, do it, Bentley.
Oh.
Come on, Charlie. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a little conference with your pitcher. Give the home plate. Yep. Oh, I love
Sherman.
this. I absolutely love this, right? Because now next time, Charlotte knows when that pitch is kind of close, she's going to get the strike call from the home plate umpire because she's giving him a little bit of love right now.
Yep. That's it.
Yep. That's smart, Charlotte. She must have a really high GPA.
That's right, I assume.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Wanacek going to give that a ride. Lockwood drifts back, makes the catch. A 1-2-3. What a shocker, Andy. A 1-2-3 inning.
In this game?
We played 4, 6-5. Falcons with the lead.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/older adults.
6, 7, 8 to lead things off in the top of the 5th inning. Cruising right along here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Seaholm Maples came in and took game number 1 on the road, 7-4. Falcons looking to split here with a victory in game number 2. Nice play ranging into the hole by Hope Hughes. Oh!
Pulled the foot.
And they'll say the first baseman pulled the foot. That is Aaron Shekel now down at first base.
We'll see. I mean, there was time. It looked like the play was going to be made. And Speedy Lockwood, just that split second that she reaches the base is when the foot comes off. Yep.
Good call by the first base umpire, rather. Just a little bit of space between the foot and the bag. So Lockwood will reach on the air. Boy, oh boy, I sure hope she's bunting.
Yeah. Exactly. Wanacek was
Strada at the plate.
about 8 feet away from home plate and running towards.
Strada pulls the bat back, takes 2 balls, no strikes.
She better hope she's not swinging away.
Well, 2-0. Well, now 3-0, so a terrific hitter's count. Just taking all the way.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Walks on 4 straight. So the first 2 base runners on, and it'll bring up Addison Gherkin. So now one would think this is a prime time to bunt. Because then he would move 2 runners into scoring position. But you know what? Never
How
know.
about a double steal?
That works too. Gherkin does handle the bat well. Has a terrific eye at the plate as well. It's a foul ball. No balls, 1 strike. Gherkin squares early and can't get it down.
You don't often see the center fielder charging into the infield on a bunt.
They might be covering second.
That might be.
That would be the true definition of a wheel play. A little bit of a lost art, bunting.
Oh, definitely.
Difficult to do at all levels.
But especially in the majors. Everybody wants a home run.
There's kind of a thought in Major League Baseball that you don't want to give up outs. It's kind of a new age thinking. So why sacrifice? Why bunt? Why give up an out? You only get 27 of them in baseball.
Well, considering all the one-run games the Tigers have lost, they might have been wise to try it a little bit.
Gherkin lifts that one foul. It's kind of that Moneyball thought. Analytics of baseball say don't give up outs.
Yeah.
In this instance, you would love to get 2 runners in scoring position because add-on runs are going to be such a bonus in this ball game. We mentioned it. You kind of get the feeling that whoever maybe has last at-bats might win this game.
Yeah.
Whoever has that big inning.
Right, and you don't get the sense that just an extra run's going to do that much for you in this game because at the rate they've been coming and the game continues along this path, there are going to be quite a few more scored.
Gherkin really gets her money's worth at the plate, doesn't she?
She's
She
had some
works
long
at-bats,
at-bats, yeah.
She doesn't get cheated. There's another foul ball, just battling.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great example. She just sort of stuck her bat out and saved herself, but it's still 3-2. Pressure's on. And Lila's got to make that pitch.
Nursey has come in relief, has recorded 3 strikeouts, has done a nice job, has given up 2 runs. Finally gets Gherkin on strikes. 4th strikeout in relief for Nursey. First out of the inning. 9th place batter Katie Morosky will bat. 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the second. Was one of the 4 strikeout victims of Nursey. Pitching staffs in game number 1 kind of worked themselves in and out of trouble seemingly all afternoon long. We'll see if Nursey can do the same here in the 5th. Popped up bunt. That's a tough play. And Aaron Scheckel comes in and records the out. Checks the runners back. Big second out there. So Coach Baldridge electing to play a little small ball. Doesn't quite work out in his favor, but J.C. Roy, probably the one player you'd want at the plate here in this moment.
Yeah, another player has been very successful tonight. Oh,
and that takes a long rebound off that back padding. Look out. Oh, no. They're going to run themselves into an out. Lockwood made the turn at third, dove back for the bag, and comes up empty. We'll get another look at it. This came off the wall quickly. The overthrow, and then she got stuck in no man's land.
Overran that base. Yeah, it happens sometimes.
So they cut the runner down. Groves threatens but does not score. We head the home half of the 5th inning with the Falcons leading 6-5.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Sydney Lezovich hoping to slam the door here in the bottom of the 5th inning with her Falcons clinging to a 6-5 lead. No place for a nervous person here
No, not
this
evening.
Game.
Absolutely not. You thought Groves was going to put some numbers up that last inning. They came out first and second, nobody out, and they end up getting skunked. So big turn of events possibly if Seaholm can take advantage of that.
Uh-oh, the Falcon faithful have turned now to blankets in the stands.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh. It's getting serious.
High and inside. Forces Lila Nursey to duck out of the way. Falcons like that magic number of 2. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, 2 runs in the fourth. Maples were able to capitalize in the first to the tune of 4 runs, added on a 5th run in the third. Seaholm actually led 5-4 after 3. The Falcons were able to bounce back in the top half of the fourth. Play did 2. They haven't looked back since. They lead 6-5. Scheduled to go 7 here. Oh, there's that breaking ball. Catches the inner half of the plate. Lezovich has been fun.
Yeah, and she's fired up. She's on there shouting. Definitely getting herself juiced and jacked. This is a great pitch, though. I'm just completely froze. Just, oof. And she knew it, too. She was absolutely well aware that she looked at one too many.
Nursey, the 4th strikeout victim of the ball game, all looking.
How about that? Nah, but Sydney's kind of dialed in. You can kind of feel that she knows she's gingerly nursing that 1-run lead.
So Reagan Johnson has been inserted back into the lineup. Aaron Scheckel had replaced her down at first base. Johnson is one of the bigger hits of the ball game for the Maples. She had that double. Came around to score back in the third. She's been on base twice. Scored twice.
Yeah, that ball would still be going if it wasn't for the wall. She really gave it a poke. It was probably the biggest hit we've seen in this game. Maybe even the first. We didn't really have too much. It was a couple to center field.
There's another hot shot. Perfect day at the plate for Reagan Johnson.
Yeah, she must be sealing the ball well. It was just a line shot between short and third, and with 1 out, Seaholm has their base runner on and looking to try and tie this one up.
Gigi Hill. Hill has an extra base hit in the form of a double back in the first. Popped up the second baseman in the third. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on the center fielder. She's already displayed her strong arm out in center field, and now lifts one just over the third base bag. Strada makes the play down there. Woo, boy.
Tough catch. Really, really nicely done.
Falcons flexing the leather in this ball game.
Look at her. She's like, I wasn't sure I was going to get that one myself, but she did a really nice job. Let's see it here. She has to, first of all, not trip over the base. That was a trick all in and of itself, but she just goes back and keeps her eye on it. The two-handed catch, fundamentally sound and everything.
A little bit of a snow cone. That ball nearly popped out.
Hey, they all count, right? They won't be asking how.
Slap the other way off the bat of Sam Allen.
I like holding the ball in that situation. It was, I don't think they could have gunned her down at third. She was not catchable, so the smarter move there was just hold the ball, keep everybody where they were on that infield. There's 2 outs, so you're going to have a force at second. You just need to pitch to the batter, get this third out.
So Sammy Allen comes up with the base hit. And good communication here. Oh, boy, that was dangerous. Lezovic called for it all the way and then sort of kind of collided with Reagan Johnson. That could have been a lot worse, Andy Aubrey.
Yeah, it was as it was. I think let's see, she's holding her arm after she makes the catch. How many times do we see in these pitchers go catch these? Oh, she took like a shot to the ribs, it looked like, as well. But she held on, and they got out of the inning.
5 innings in the books. Groves still in front, 6-5.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Top of the Groves lineup, J.C. Roy just continues to pound the softball.
Yeah, there she is again, making her presence felt out there with a big leadoff single. You know, Groves wants to add on to this 1-run margin. Nothing safe in this game.
Maddie Drapel. Whoa, a little miscommunication there.
Lila Nursey, on the other hand, very important that she hold these Falcons off the board and give her offense a chance to come back.
Drapel 3 for 3. 3 singles, 2 runs scored, 3 RBI. Roy takes off her second. Ball hit off her spike. Barely held onto the bag.
Did the ball hit her in the foot?
Yeah.
Huh.
She head first slid into the back of second base. Had her fingertip just barely on the bag. We'll get another look at it here.
Wow. How about that? Okay.
Drapel squared around, pulled the bat back. "3-0 count, runner in scoring position. Taking all the way. And works a walk. Lezovic going to take her time getting in the box. Going to look at the play call. A little bit of a unique wrinkle in the game of softball. You don't really see this too much in baseball, but these play calls, these play sheets. The play call, and here we go. Lezovic looks down at Coach Baldridge, and he'll put up a series of fingers and numbers that kind of indicate what play is on. Are you bunting? Are you slapping? Are you swinging away? She's going to try to bunt and follows this one back. Coach Baldridge realizing this game is getting late. Every run is at a premium now. Love to build on a 1-run lead. 2 runners on, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning. Sydney Lezovic at the plate. High fly ball. Sammy Allen goes back, catches for the first out of the inning. J.C. Roy tags up and will scamper down to third.
Yeah, I think you see the wrist thing like Brock Purdy or something like that. Or every now and then, like an outfielder, they have it in their hat when they have the tendencies, right?
Yes, so that's defensive alignment in baseball, yep. Sometimes they'll even have it in their back pockets. This bunt, Wanacek fields it just barely in foul territory. That's a tough decision for the third baseman. Normally, you'd really want to make sure that ball goes foul. She kind of sort of was straddling the line, but you never know what sort of turn that ball's going to make.
Yeah,
right?
it was close.
Next thing you know, it's rolling into fair territory. Squaring around, bringing the bat back. Bentley, the cleanup hitter, watches it.
They're just players moving all around, runners and fielders, and
so Drapel goes down to second. Got Roy at third, Drapel at second. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. 1 out, 2 strikes. The count on Bentley, just foul and out of the reach of Gumbus.
That had 2 runs written all over it.
Big moment in this game. Nursey in relief. Kicks, deals, slap down the third baseline. Fair ball. This is going to score 2. Clutch. 2 RBI single for Charlotte Bentley. And the Falcons get their insurance run. It's that 2-run inning once again.
Well, Bentley straightened it out just enough. She had sent one a little bit further foul and a couple pitches before that, but this one just hugs the line right down third base over the bag. Double, 2 runs scored. Groves up by 3 now.
Jillian Erickson, the designated player, 1 for 2, has been on base twice. So 4 different Falcons have driven in a run. Drapel with 3 RBI, Lezovich with 1, Bentley and Erickson both with 2. Erickson, slow grounder to the second baseman. Weber charges, underhand toss to Reagan Johnson. Second out of the inning, advances the base runner over to third. I'll leave things up to Aiden Lockwood. Wanacek and Johnson.
I'm not clear on that strategy.
3 or 4 steps.
Bringing her in so far like that. There's 2 outs. I don't think they're expecting any bunts.
No. Gonna play the corner infield in. Weber, the second baseman, nearly on the outfield grass. Hope Hughes standard depth at short. And Wanacek makes the play down at third, goes over to Johnson to record the third out of the inning, but damage done. Groves scratches across 2 once again. That has been their number. For the 4th time in this ballgame, they scored 2 runs in the inning. After 5.5 innings of play, lead it 8-5.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Sydney Lezovich starting to feel it. She is grooving in the circle to a little bit of Eminem. Her offense has given her now a little bit of a cushion. 8-5 our score. Sun has pretty much set here, Andy. Lights are on at not only the softball diamond, but the baseball diamond. Tom Flynn paying a little extra tonight on that electric bill.
That's right. They're good for it. I think they've been paying all along, so they're probably going to have the energy for tonight. Just guessing.
Seaholm wants to work themselves back in this ball game. It's going to have to start right now. 1, 2, 3. Top of the Maple lineup. Looking to do some damage here in the home half of the 6th. Hope Hughes goes opposite field. Past Addison Gherkin at first base. That's how you draw it up. Get your leadoff batter on base and do a little bit of work.
Yeah, Hope Hughes, real nice slap job over first base. Just kind of goes with the pitch, hits it down the line. Like you said, Brad, get that leadoff runner on, and anything's possible. They got some work to do here. They've let Groves get out in front a little bit. Any more than this becomes tough with only 2 more innings to bat.
Hope Hughes' third base hit of the ball game. Emma Weber, she's been held pretty quiet in this ball game. Did reach on an error in the first, came around to score. We know this is a big bat in this Maple lineup. Runner does take off for second. Middle infielders were late breaking. Neither one really was at second base to cover that stolen base attempt, so Hughes able to swipe it cleanly.
Yeah, I think shortstop was designed to go over there, but didn't happen. So Seaholm now has their runner in scoring position with nobody down.
There's that good breaking ball for a called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike to count on Emma Weber. And they will put her on base. So the first 2 batters have reached. And it turns it over to Mary Gumbus. 1 for 3, a single and a run scored, and a couple of strikeouts. Now we'll get a courtesy. Nope, the runners are just going to talk things over. Mary Gumbus is going to have a conversation with her head coach, Bill Sherman. Wow. Confab between Charlotte Bentley and Sydney Lesovich takes place. Biggest moment of this ball game thus far. Lesovich into her motion, bounces it up to home plate. Runners take off and will slide in safely. I think we kind of foreshadowed this, didn't we?
Well, the way this game has gone, yeah, it didn't feel like there was going to be a 1-run game, and the scoring was over when it was 6-5. So, Seaholm's looking to rack up some big numbers here.
So Seaholm will have last at-bats on the road. Designated home team in this second game of the doubleheader. Gumbus just barely nicks that ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count on the left fielder. So Lesovich go back to that breaking ball.
It's working for her. She's got a tough task ahead of her, though.
She does go to the breaking ball. And Gumbus able to follow it back. Stays alive. You double back with it again.
Oh, yeah, I think you need to.
Little chess match being played now. That's straight. Good battle now between Gumbus and Lesovich.
Just making it tough on her. Gumbus, even though she's 1 for 3, I feel like she's had some really nice at-bats throughout the day.
Comes inside. Gumbus.
She's not going lightly.
Nope. Cut the tension with a knife.
Oh, it's just very tense in here.
Hughes down at third. Emma Weber, the runner, at second base. We know how aggressive both of those runners are. And they're going to have to complete the strikeout at first. Here comes the runner from third. And 2 runs are going to score.
Ooh,
Wow.
on a strikeout. That is tough. Tough.
And that's the aggressive secondary leads, the aggressive base running. Good heads-up play by Gumbus to realize that that ball was in the dirt and that the Falcons would have to complete the strikeout.
Yeah, that was the problem. That's where it all started. It was not coming up with that catch or on the pitch that struck her out, and then you start throwing it around. And that's always fraught with danger.
We also had an appeal at home plate. I think the Falcons wanted to make sure that both runners touched home plate. And the home plate umpire did, in fact, confirm that the runner did touch home. So 2 runs do score on the strikeout. So we had a strikeout, a wild pitch.
And then another throwing error, right?
And then a throwing error by Gherkin, the first baseman. So Wanacek now at the plate. Pitch misses high and away. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on the third baseman. Wanacek lifts one, shallow center. And Drapel going back, and let's see if they can apply the tag. No, they're going to say the slide came under the tag. That ball is kind of sort of hitting no man's land. The Bermuda Triangle out there between Lockwood, Roy, and Drapel. Drapel was going back. Lockwood and Roy were both coming in. Normally, you would say the shortstop should defer to one of the outfielders there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have to see it again, and let's do that. I'm not sure. They were playing awfully deep, and yeah, it was probably better
Lockwood's
suited.
Ball in left field. I would say. She's charging in hard.
She lets up. That's right. Number 3, that was Lockwood. She could have probably made that catch, but Groves in a very tenuous situation now, just clinging to that 1-run lead. Still only 1 out, runner on second, and they've got to tighten up the defense.
What did you say was the record for the longest softball game in the history?
33 innings.
8 hours?
About 8 hours, yeah.
Okay.
25 minutes, something like that. So
fasten your seatbelts.
We're going to be here a while, folks. We need to get some catering called in. People start calling into the day jobs. Might as well do that now.
Approaching 4 hours for this doubleheader, and we still have an inning of play to go. Swing and a miss by Nursey.
Only 29 more hours to go to break the record.
We got a courtesy runner down at second base. That's Adele Bush. This is going to be another tough play. Borkowski gloves it.
I know they've got the lights on. It's still some daylight in the sky, but I feel like it's starting to get into that tricky area of the night.
In between dusk, right?
Yeah, exactly. So a pop-up, fly balls to the outfield might just be an adventure. While all this chatting's going on, I'll throw some more facts at you. Did you know that softballs, and the game of softball, is the only sport where the ball gets bigger as the game goes on?
It expands?
That's what they say. I mean, I don't make the news, I only report it. But that's what they say, that there's an expansion factor. Now, they go through quite a few balls, if there's fouls hit or whatever.
Sure.
But, I mean, I know I go back to my glorious softball days. We only used to play with about 2 or 3 balls. I mean, unless it was wet, I guess you'd switch a few more out. But
So technically, the later on in the game, the ball should be easier to hit.
It'd be easier to catch, too, though.
Should look like a beach ball by the end of it, right?
It should be.
Reagan Johnson, perfect 2 for 2 at the plate, has reached base in all 3 plate appearances. Walked and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the third, and singled in the 5th. Tying run at second base. And a hot shot to the hot corner. Strada makes the play to end the inning. You want to grow up and play third base, you got to have fast reflexes.
Reflexes is the name of the game.
Rose certainly has them. Oof. That had double written all over it. The flash of the leather preserves the 1-run lead. We head to the 7th inning. Falcons with 8 runs. The Maples with 7.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Bottom third of the Falcon batting lineup to bat here in the 7th inning.
You mean we're playing softball again?
And we had a little bit of a delay. We weren't going to subject our viewers to that delay.
The greatest minds in this sport were a 4-minute delay. We're reminded by the truck. Thank you, truck. What was discussed, we have no idea. But whoa!
That ball pinballed off the dugout.
Look out. It's a full contact sport, even for the spectators. That poor gentleman in that light green
He's
pullover
laughing
right
about
there.
it now. He can laugh about it now.
He can laugh about it because he's still conscious, but a couple inches either way, and it might not have been the case.
I guarantee he heard that ball whistle past him.
Yeah, he sure did.
Hit ball came off the bat angry. So after a 4-minute delay, I don't think anything was changed nor solved.
Nothing was accomplished there. Nothing at all. They got some FaceTime on TV, the umpires and the coaches.
Reagan Johnson back in at first. Want to check down at third and field relatively in here. As Strada at the plate. 0 for 2. Has been on base once. Walked in the 5th inning. 5th inning, one of the few unproductive innings for this Falcon offense.
Yeah, what happened there? There's 2 zeros. It's so long ago, I forgot.
Well, Falcons have not gone down in order in this ball game. Seaholm has gone down 1, 2, 3 just once. So we've had plenty of action as Gherkin thought once again as she will be bunting. At least that's what the Seaholm defense thinks. Gherkin 0 for 3 takes a look at another called strike. Quickly down 0-2.
Yeah, I think the bunt thing might be off at this point, would you say?
I would guarantee it.
You thinking? And it's too bad, really, because she's had some great at-bats. She's going to have to work to keep in there now, but she goes down with a swinging third strike in the first out of the inning.
5th strikeout of the game combined by the Maple pitching staff. 9th place batter, Katie Morosky to bat. 0 for 2. Been on base via the walk and came around to score in the 2nd. Another foul ball on the bunt attempt.
I think it's officially the furthest in I've ever seen third come on a bunt attempt in all levels of this game.
Well, I'll tell
that
you
I've
one
ever
thing.
seen.
If Morosky does decide to swing,
Oh my!
Wanacek might want to duck.
That's going to be very dangerous indeed. Yeah.
And she does swing. Wanacek didn't quite break in as quickly as she normally does. She wasn't rushing in.
And lucky for her, the ball was high and outside and swung and missed. And now she's back at her regular position.
And Morosky goes down 6-4-3. They get the put out at second base. Can't turn two, nearly, as we mentioned, throughout the two games. Nearly impossible to turn two.
We saw one, right?
We did.
That was pretty rare. So this was well done to cut that lead off, and they had no shot at getting her at first.
Fielder's choice, 6-4. J.C. Roy, she's been on base 3 times in game 2. She also reached base safely 3 times in game 1. So a very active day at the plate. Not much going here as she pops up to the second baseman, Weber, to retire the Groves side. Played 6.5. Last chance opportunities coming up for the Maples. Home team gets her last at bats. They trail 8-7.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Last chance opportunities for the Seaholm Maples. 7, 8, 9. Gonna have to do it with the lower third of the lineup. G.G. Hill. Couple pop-outs and a double.
Well, Falcons have left themselves not much cushion here. We'd have to nurse this 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th.
Sydney Lezovich gonna try to go the distance. G.G. Hill puts a little bit of a charge into that one. It'll fall harmlessly foul. Sammy Allen due up next. She is in the on-deck circle. She replaced Sophia Hankey in right field. Sammy Allen has had 2 at-bats in this ball game. 1 for 1, single and a base on balls. Allen gets in the hole for Seaholm. Hill. And it's going to be a running grab.
Nice running catch.
Aiden Lockwood.
We'll see it here. Lockwood goes to her left. It's getting dark for us, folks. We're having a hard time picking up those black uniforms out there against the black wall, or the dark green, I guess. But she makes a heck of a catch going into the gap, and she's playing closer to the line, as a matter of fact. So with that ball going into left center, she really had to get on her horse, and she did.
Sammy Allen, the sophomore, looks down at her head coach. Digs back into the batter's box. Slaps one down the third baseline, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, the counts on the right fielder. Right down the middle. Obviously, Allen was looking for something else.
Allen's got that sort of deep crouch for a taller player.
It almost kind of looks like a George Brett stance.
Yeah, Brett, or I was thinking Ricky Henderson or something like that. But also when she swings, she goes back as she's going into her swing. She kind of comes back first for it. You take a look here and see if you can catch it. Ooh.
Drops a hand, so to speak. Sammy Allen goes down swinging. 2 up, 2 down. Gonna leave it up to Madeline Getz. Falcons 1 out away from splitting this doubleheader, and we're gonna have a pinch hitter now.
Well, what's one more?
Sage Allen. Two-out rally chant begins from the Seaholm dugout. So Sage Allen, the pinch hitter. 2 away. Whoa, nearly wore it. Move the feet out of the way to avoid it. Two really fun games of softball here on BACB Sports. So glad you decided to tune us in. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey. Terrific job, our entire hardworking staff this evening and afternoon. Long day of softball. Steve Rhoda, our man in the live truck, pushing all the right buttons, making all the right calls, making us look and sound somewhat professional.
Well, he does what he can with what he's got to work with.
Speaking of you and I, right?
Naturally, yes.
Sage Allen swings, floats one into shallow right. Oh, what a play! Kate Morosky has had some difficulties in this doubleheader, and she pays it off in a big way. What a terrific play by the second baseman to end it.
She ranges as far as she's had to go for one of these all day, and she had some adventures in that first game, but with the play that was most important of this game, she makes it. Going down, holding on, and Groves skips out of here with their 8-7 win.
Pretty apropos. The second baseman, Katie Morosky, would make that type of play to end it. Avoids the collision with the right fielder, Emma Borkowski. Kind of the bugaboo in Game 1 was the Groves defense. They flashed the leather in Game 2 and come away with a really impressive 8-7 victory and a double-header split.
Yeah, Seaholm played 2 good games. Groves was just a little better in that second game. There's another look at that outstanding end-of-game catch. Some of the defense for Groves undermined their efforts in the first game, but they came back strong. They played a better game, I would say, and they made the plays they had to when they had to, and they got split.
Sydney Lesovich goes the distance in the circle, gets the complete game. Groves with the victory in Game 2 of this doubleheader by the final score, once again, of 8-7. Andy, that was a pleasure. What a way to wrap up our spring coverage here on BACB Sports.
A lot of fun, Brad. Always great time working with everybody, and you, obviously. And, gosh, you don't know what to do. We got a couple parades coming up, but sports, it's all in the rearview mirror for us now, buddy, so we'll do it all again next fall. How's that sound?
Excellent. Big thank you to both athletic departments at both of our high schools, Seaholm and Groves. Couldn't have done it without them. Big thank you to everyone associated with the two schools. And a big thank you to our crew and all of our viewers this season and in all of our sports. For my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey, for our director, Steve Roden, and the rest of our BACB Sports crew, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodbye once again. It's a softball doubleheader split. Seaholm takes Game 1. Groves comes right back and takes Game number 2 by the final score of 8-7. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the fall.